Hello and welcome to another video. I'm nervous. I'm almost feeling a little bit nauseous because I'm nervous, and this feeling was actually the beginning of deciding to record this incredibly spontaneous video. I have a break from work and I have enough time to do some yoga. And I was looking at the clock and I was like, well, I actually have quite a lot of time, so let's see what kind of flows there are available. And I found one that was 60 minutes long and I thought, great, okay, I'll do that. That sounds fun. And slowly I found myself procrastinating, reading a book, then going on my phone. And I realized that the idea of 60 minutes of yoga actually makes me panic. And the reason being because 60 minutes feels like a lot. 45 minutes is kind of my maximum. In reality, if it's too much for me, then I can stop at any time. But there's something about stopping an activity or anything in life before the pre-agreed finish time, I see as failure. And I realized this was actually potentially a very helpful lesson for me, because through this whole project, I'm trying to free myself up and live life and experience and enjoy it without the pressure that it has to be perfect or trying to control. And so I have decided that whilst I'm sitting here kind of nervous and panicking, the idea of doing yoga for 7 days, an hour a day, feels like a lot. And just the act of deciding to do it makes me feel like I absolutely 100% have to complete it. I feel like this video is going to be helpful because I'm regretting it already. But here is 7 days of an hour a day of yoga, and we'll see how I feel afterwards. So I just did my feedback and forgot to press record. I feel in this slow-mo speed where my reactions are like a second slower than they normally would be. I feel a bit sleepy, but it could be the sunshine coming in. I feel calmer and I feel more loving towards myself after that hour. I found that I was more patient with myself for the positions that I couldn't do so much. Whereas sometimes in sessions I've done before, I get a bit cross that my body won't do the position to the extent of like the yoga instructor, who often happens to be like an ex-gymnast anyway. But I did Skandasana on one side, on my right side. And that's never happened before. I'm happy. Let's see how the week progresses. Hi. Good morning. Today is day 2 of my week challenge. I've got a coffee from Anka and I'm just making myself a little bit of breakfast, which is my version of strawberry cheesecake for breakfast. I don't really actually like cheesecake, but I like sort of breakfast versions of deconstructed puddings. I have some fabulous maple syrup that my friend Christina brought me back from Canada, and I'm just gonna drizzle the last of it. I've been watching too much Great British Bake Off, clearly. And I'm gonna have this, I'm gonna finish my coffee, then we're gonna get started. So this is my place for today, and this awesome woman on the screen is Charlie Follows on YouTube. I think I'll be doing most of her workouts this week. I found a sequin on my yoga mat, so that's gotta be a good start. A little bit of glitter. That might have been like one of the hardest hours of yoga I've ever done. There were some really challenging positions. There were two things that came to mind. The first was I really have a tendency to want to speed up and get into the position and be correct and be perfect. And actually, more often than not, when that happens, I'm inviting bad alignment into my body. I'm inviting a fizziness that's counteracting what yoga should help you feel and experience and appreciate. And the second thing is, I really have a difficulty accepting what my body is capable of right now. There doesn't have to be a chronological, consistent journey of improvement. That's something I've identified, and again, I would like to be better at, is appreciating and loving what my body is capable of in this moment and not trying to push it further. I sweated so much during that and I shook. Hello. I'm not having the best mental health day. I had a bad sleep and I'm generally feeling achy. If anything, I think these are the days to do yoga. So we have another video. This beautiful lady as always, and I guess I'm just gonna see what I'm capable of. That was the hardest one yet, and not just because of having a tough day, but there were challenges. I had to take a break at points. I got emotional at points, but I feel at least calmer with my mental state today and calmer with how I feel, and grateful for yoga. What was really interesting actually is my body just responded. It was like my body was saying, I have your back. I'm supporting you, don't worry about it. That was nice. It was like having a friend with my practice today. I did it! I fucking did it! No. You wanted to wait for the video, so I'll let you wait for the video.
Yeah.
I wanted to show Lauren my boat pose, but he wants to wait for the video, so. That was a fantastic practice. This was by far the most rewarding, most enjoyable practice. Not only did I do two poses that I have either really struggled with or never been able to do, crow pose and extended boat pose, I also felt for the first time that my brain and my body were aligned together. Because of that, the moves were so much smoother. I knew what I was doing. I didn't shake as much, I didn't stumble as much. There was a fluidity throughout the whole practice that I haven't had before. Ooh, I hope I'm gonna just keep riding on a high for the rest of the day. It's day 5, it's a Sunday, and I was looking forward to this practice, and I was gonna be free from work today, but I've been called in at the last minute. It's definitely put me in a certain mood, and I'm trying to just relax into an outcome I cannot control, but I am a little bit sad and I got a little bit teary about it. But we will make of the day what we can make of it. And hopefully I'll enjoy my morning until I have to go to work. So best way to start with that is an hour of yoga. Day 6 complete, and I wish I'd been a bit more excited and exhilarated by this practice, but I was just a little bit like, the whole thing. Most of the positions were not particularly comfortable, I have to say that. I think they were designed for somebody who's like a little bit more bendy than me. I'm not the most flexible person in the world. Tomorrow is the last day of my Lemonage yoga project. I think I might be fairly thankful that after the 7th day, I can have a little bit of a break. I mean, I always could have a break if I wanted to, but that wasn't the point. Yeah. Roll on day 7. Day 7 is the last day. I definitely had to motivate myself a little bit to want to do this last day. I was really happy on the sofa with my cup of coffee and my YouTube videos, taking a nice break because my work schedule has been insane. But here we are, and I'm gonna really hope that my body is a little bit more receptive today. But we are where we are, body. I have a bit of sunshine though. Let's go. I love how mad my hair goes. I even try to make it look attractive at the beginning of doing yoga. I don't know why, but it always will just end up like this. But I guess that's the sign of a good time. This week has been incredible. There have been major ups and some downs. I'm so proud of myself that I did this. It's incredibly rare that I say I'm proud of myself for anything. Normally when I achieve something, and I put it in quotations because I do achieve it, but to accept it within myself is almost impossible, so it never feels like an achievement. When I achieve something, I'm always looking for what the next thing is. It's not that I'm dissatisfied, but I'm searching for my worth somewhere, and I always think I'm gonna feel that worth within myself when I achieve the next thing, and then the next thing, and it becomes a vicious cycle of dominoes. Ooh, Domino's pizza. This practice was especially interesting for me, I think, this last one, day 7, because I really felt peace within my head and peace within my heart. When difficult positions came along and I fell out of them or I did them incorrectly, I found it funny. I enjoyed it. It wasn't a big deal. And having those moments of frivolity and ease within my practice felt fantastic, but also like something I've never really experienced before when I've done yoga. If it's a simple vinyasa, I can do it and I don't really care so much. But when there are more complicated positions, I give myself a really hard time if they're not perfect. I also noticed after this week that my body, not only did it know the movement and know the rhythm and know when to breathe much better than the beginning of this week, but also there are several positions that are so much easier than they were. Downward dog, for instance, I always had to pedal my feet, and to keep my whole body still was always incredibly difficult. Any one-legged poses were also easier. I found my balance was just a lot more present. I think when it comes to the quietening of my anxious heart or my worries or stress in life, I would need to do yoga for longer than a week to feel a really clear difference. I feel in such a great mood, but a couple of days ago, the yoga was really hard and my brain was not soothed by it particularly in the moment. So although I will not be continuing doing it every single day because my body needs a break, I'm hoping that I will continue to do an hour multiple times a week or as often as I can manage, and really learn to keep this a regular part of my life and my mental health. It's really interesting how nervous I was to do this challenge I set for myself. And I also find it kind of hilarious that this whole Lemonage project is for me to take on things that have the factor of fear included, and to live life to the full and not try and control it for safety. And I don't think that any single one of the experiences that I have tried this year and recorded have been bad. I think I've had fun every single time. So I wonder how many projects I need to take on before I actually believe that, you know? So this is the end of my yoga project. Whistle outside. I very much hope you enjoyed watching, and thank you so much for being a part of this Lemonage journey with me. Mwah! Bye-bye!